Brats, we have got another company that has reached out to us about gaming chairs. Fuqido, Fuqido, something gaming, but they promise that they make really high quality chairs for a lower price than most of their competitors. Let's open this thing up and see. So what we've got here is their 6627 model. It's currently $200 on Amazon, although I've seen the price waver between their website and Amazon, $200 to $240, so that price could change. Let's get this thing unboxed. Always have your small, sharp unboxing knife. Boom. The base is metal, I like that. It also looks like it's wide, so you hopefully won't have any issues reclining the chair. We got books and crap we probably don't need. Whew. First impressions, the chair feels like it's gonna be quality because it is really heavy. Interesting bottom design there. Let me get all this garbage out of here real quick, and then we'll get to assembling the chair. Step one, I'm gonna put the wheels on real quick. Time is 9:40, let's see how long this takes. Push your gas cylinder into here, throw this over it. Comes with almost all the same size bolts, which I really like. The tool that does everything. You got an Allen wrench and a Phillips on there. And then it just comes with 4 little extra screws here, which are probably gonna be for putting your plastics on. Okay, those are tight. Left and right are not clearly marked, so an easy way to think about it, when you're sitting on the chair, the handle to move it up and down should be on the outside. So you think about make sure this knob faces the outside of the chair. Arms are fully attached. The next step is typically pretty easy putting together a chair. You flip this over and you just put this on. Boy, that's got quite an angle on it. Fight for game. All right, now we move on to the back of the chair. We just got the side bracket on here. You want to think about when you're sitting in the chair, where you're going to grab the handhold. Do not mess with this handhold right now though, because you don't want to mess with this spring before everything's assembled. Just think about that's the way it's got to go. So this is the way this has to fit on there, and tighten these down. Ugh. We got that on. We're going to flip it over to the other side and put this one on. One thing that does mean you want to be careful of with these parts have moving parts. There's grease in there. Don't go touching in there. You're going to get all gross. And now I'm tightening these bolts down. It may be smart not to completely tighten them at this point, because when you go to put it on the back of the chair, there is some play here. You may want to keep some of that play to help you get it all aligned first, and then tighten it all the way down. Key is get one bolt in, and that'll help you hold one side, and then you can go mess with the other side. And once you've got the 4 of those aligned, then you can tighten all 8 of those bolts all the way down. Oh my God, I'm getting so sweaty. Similar to some other products that we've dealt with here, I feel like everything was super high quality except the plastic covers. Plastic covers just tend to warp really easily, and they just don't look great. But like this one, I'm having to kind of stretch the panels out to get it to fit. It's making it hard to align. They make the pad real easy at least. You're just gonna run one side through one hole, make sure your logo's right, and then run the other side through and snap on. It's not like that AK Racing one they sent me that was super tricky. This is nice and simple. And then I don't usually use them. My back is weird and doesn't really care for these, but I'm gonna strap it on just for the initial try. Typically you wanna try and push these all the way through the bottom here, and then put these up through that same hole. 23 minutes. I'd say that's pretty fast. About a month's use now with the Fuqido, whatever you want to call it. Really liking the chair. There was a weird little issue I had. So I noticed when I was first using it that one of the armrests, back then it actually moved too easily. I noticed it was turning really easily, so I actually ended up turning it all the way off. Strangely, they used a slightly different device inside the two. And this one, the screw was a little loose. So I tightened the screw back down. It was an easy repair to make. But now one thing that I've noticed from tightening that screw down further, this one is a pretty simple turn, and this one is a pretty deliberate turn. So I don't know if that was just a little defect. I wish they had the same device in either, and I don't really care which one. If it was the harder to move one, fine. If it was the easier to move one, that's fine too. They both feel good, but the fact that I have one that's different, it's a little weird because like if I go to push them out, one wants to push first before the other one does, and if I go to turn them, one's much harder to turn. It's not a deal breaker, but it is just odd. Why did they end up with different devices in each side? Beyond that, the chair feels really good. It has developed a tiny bit of squeaking. The leather itself, that's one thing that I don't know that we described enough, but it just feels really quality. But the one thing that was really weird to me, I took the back pad out, and without the back pad, even without it, there is still a lot of lumbar support built into the bottom here, which is good. For me, I'm not used to that, keeping my back kind of out like that when I sit. Probably good for me, but it's made my back sore for like the first 2 days that I was using it. I feel good now, I've gotten used to it, it's probably all for the best. I'm impressed with the chair, the quality, especially for a name brand that you haven't really heard of at all yet. And I actually am preferring it over my AK Racing chair. The AK Racing is more expensive, it does feel more solid, but this one, the padding's a little harder, everything's a little firmer, and feels like it's supporting me rather than letting me kind of sink into the chair like the AK lets me get away with. So I think the chair is better for me. One more thank you to Fuqido for sending this out to us. It's a good chair, and it's going to be my chair probably for a while now. Let me know if you've ever had a chair like this brand, if you've ever even heard of them. Actually, let me know that in the comments, because this is the first time I'd ever heard of them. I want to say thank you so much for hanging out with us here today. I hope this video brightened your day a little bit, and I will see you in another reality.